What are archetypes and how do they influence us? Archetypes are the most potent patterns of the collective unconscious, which powerfully influence our lives and our destiny. Let us watch Carl Gustav Jung, the famous psychiatrist who introduced the concept into modern psychology, explaining it in his own words. So let's find out what archetypes are and how they work.
But it is quite certain that man is born with a certain functioning, a certain way of functioning, a certain pattern of behavior, and that is expressed in the form of archetypal images or archetypal forms. For instance, the way in which a man should behave is given by an archetype. Yeah. And therefore, you see, the primitives tell such stories. A great deal of education goes through storytelling.
Yes.
For instance, they call in a palaver of the young men, and two older men perform before the eyes of the younger all the things they should not do.
Yeah.
And at the end they say, now that is exactly the thing you shall not do. Another way is they tell them of all the things they should not do.
Yeah.
And you, like the Decalogue,
yeah.
Thou shalt not.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that is always supported by mythological tales.
Yes.
For instance, our ancestors have done so and so, and so you shall do.
Yeah.
Or such a hero has done so and so,
yes.
And that is your model.
Yes.
For instance, take the teaching of the Catholic Church. There are several thousand saints,
yes.
And they show us how, you see,
the models then become the
models, yeah.
For the individual.
And they have their legends, and that is Christian mythology.
Yes.
In Greek, you know, there was a Theseus, there was a Heracles, models of fine men, of gentlemen, you know.
Yes. Yes.
And they teach us how to behave. They are archetypes.
I see.
Archetypes of behavior.
Archetypes are models of behavior from the collective unconscious.
One of the central parts of the so-called psychosexual development in the more or less orthodox psychoanalytic theory is the so-called Oedipus complex.
Yes,
I believe the term complex was yours originally.
Well, you see, that is just what I call an archetype. That
yes.
is the first archetype Freud has discovered. Now you see, the Oedipus gives you an excellent example of the behavior of an archetype. It is always the whole situation. There is a mother, there is a father, there is a son, there is a whole story, how such a situation develops and to what end it leads finally.
Yes.
And that is an archetype. You see, an archetype always is a sort of abbreviated drama. Namely, it begins in such and such a way, it extends to such and such a complication, and it finds a solution in such and such a way. That is the usual form.
Archetypes come in different classes or combine different elements. The archetypal pattern of behavior, for example, the Oedipus pattern of incestual attraction, the archetypal persona who undergoes the pattern, in this case Oedipus, and the archetypal influences or other persona which the original persona is most likely to face, such as his mother and his father, and in the Oedipus myth, the Sphinx as the archetypal threshold guardian on the path of self-knowledge. It is no accident that archetypes are described in mythological terms.
Mythology is a pronouncing of series of images that formulate the life of archetypes. And so the statements of every religion and of many poets and so on are statements about the inner mythological process, which is a necessity because man is not complete if he is not conscious of that aspect of things. So, you see, a man is not complete when he lives in a world of statistical truth.
In the same interview, Professor Jung explains that the collective unconscious is a collecting place of dynamic archetypal images which are not invented by the intellect. The collective unconscious brings forth archetypal images from which the individual myths emerge. In one of our next videos, we will discover the mandala as the structure of the main archetype. Or check out our upcoming videos about the archetypes of the hero's journey and about their influence on us as human beings, on our relationships, and on many things more. If you enjoyed this video, please like and don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss any of our upcoming videos. See you soon.